What's up, everyone? Today we're going for a ride, but we have a little bit of an issue to start right off, and that is, if you can see here, the handlebars are completely loose. It's a pretty fresh bike. This is a older video I made, so we had to take those all the way off, get them going. As you can see, great day. Just the three of us. It is pretty overgrown right now. Some of the trails are pretty worn in, and some of them are not. This one is actually an older video I had. So I am still on my KTM 250, and let's go for a ride. So we're out here on a couple different bikes. I'm on the KTM Xcf250w. We have a Beta, I think 300, and a Husky bored out to like 200 and something. I don't know what it is. Definitely been thinking. I switched from this KTM, and now I am actually on the Kawi race bike 250, and it definitely has a lot more pop to it. These trails are just great today, by the way. Fresh rain, it looks like nobody's been on them, so we've got this grippy sand to it, and it is just flowy today. But yeah, I've been thinking about going to some of these newer 250X style bikes, whether that's the Honda or the Kawasaki. It just seems like it might be the right in between. Like I say, I had this bike I'm on right now, which is Xcf250w, so it means it's got the wide range gears. It's a great bike, it's got some pep to it, but it's definitely missing that snap. And at first I thought it was coming away from a 450, and that's just how they were, but I'm beginning to think now I've had a bit of a 250 race bike that is just the wide range gears. Great for comfort, riding out to the trails is amazing, but actually having that snappiness it's definitely soft. A lot of these trails are sandy, which is pretty fun at times. During the dead heat of summer, when there has been zero rain, it is just a dust bowl. It is really hard to ride. There are some good sections like this here where the quads don't do as much, and we're thankful for that because they pretty much destroy a lot of the trails. No offense to you, you maintain a little bit of it, but you also dig it right up. As you can see, it gets a little ingrown in some areas, but that's what it's about. I kind of like that adventure style. This section here has been a long time fun hill. Lots of people come to it. It is super sandy, and it's great to just kind of rip up and down. Hard to see with that sunset there, but let's go, pump it. You pretty much gotta be maxed out first or second gear, going nowhere. It's just deep sand. There you go. So yeah, when it needs it, the 250 Xcf2w does it, but I don't know. Kawasaki now has that 250X, which essentially gives you the race bike with softer suspension, and it might be a little bit better. I'm not 100% sure. This section here is top secret. No one knows about it. We've kept it secret from the quads for a long time. It's probably too steep for the quads to do. This is the way down, and it's a little more difficult to find, but we'll see. So this is it here, the up and down to the left and right. That's just like a nice easy access way down. And when we first found this little chute, it was obviously like a sand hill had collapsed, so the face of the hill had taken off. And now it's a little wider, but and I stopped. Hear that fan going. Overheating it. It's cooking. Takes one mistake and you're down for the day, but it's still fun. You can see what I mean. It just doesn't have that crack to it. It's just a soft bike. Insanely comfortable though. And this one has electric start, which my new one does not, so it's a year newer, no electric start. This little section we just kind of made, so it's a little bit fresh still, and we got to dig it in a little more, but it's also tucked through a little hole where quads might not get to it, so it should stay pretty fresh for a long time. It's a bit more fun, technical, up and down switchbacks, so hard to see how steep these are, but it's definitely an up and down steep hairpin. Adam up ahead of me. He is really excelling on that 300. 300 two-strokes are definitely a trail and race machine for what we're kind of doing, that hair scramble enduro. They have just so much power, but then they're also really easy to feather through things. There we go. Up and over some logs. Let's open it up a little bit. Can't go too crazy fast. Hard right. This part I always miss. You come flying out of here and then it's a hard left, but 90% of the time I just blow right by it. It's probably only because someone's ahead of me that it didn't get blown right through. Steep hill. Oh, I hit a bit of a jumpish kind of lump and just shot straight forward. Alright, let's go back. Let's do this. We're at the top here. And then it comes right down the side of a hill. This is definitely one of the funnest sections around. It's tight, it's slow, but it's new and fresh, which is nice. All these raindrops. I'm not used to it. Never need to wipe off the screen. That's okay, let's go. It's a hard right to a very steep down, so it's a little more trickier than it looks. And then you go up and over. The blue barrel there is a bait, and for, I assume bear, but I'm not 100% sure. That's normally what they are, bait barrels for the hunters. You gotta control that population. You don't want too many bears, they'll overtake. You ever find with new sections you want to go a lot faster, but then you can't really remember where it goes. So if you go too fast, you end up overshooting everything. Alright, so we're back out in the open here. Today's ride was honestly spectacular. It's in the evening, the sun's kind of going down. In Manitoba here, we get huge, long, golden sunsets. We're just flat on the prairies, and it's honestly, we should do more of these trail rides in the evening. Do most of them during the the hottest heat of the Sunday afternoon, you know. But it would be worthwhile to come out here more often in the evening because you got a little cooler. Two, there's nobody around. This is a really busy area otherwise, so it's really nice to be out here a little more peacefully. This place really grows a lot when it rains. When it doesn't rain, it still grows a lot because there's so much shade here. So we're actually cutting back across. We've looped right back around and we're coming back to the bottom of that sand hill from earlier. What do you guys think though? KTM or Honda? They both have the 250Xs. I guess Yamaha has it too with the YZF-X. And so that's an option too. I just want a snappy, playful bike that when I go to a track, it's going to work really well. And then when I race, it's going to work even better. But then when I go to a trail, I'll still have that kind of comfier, high-end speed, you know? These 4th or 5th gear kind of cruises where you're just cruising out to the trails, or you find a nice smooth bit of trail and you're just kind of getting it. Is it possible to have 2-in-1 bikes? They changed the wheel size, they changed the suspension, the engines are essentially the same. Oh geez, he's down. Right into the bush.
You good? Yeah. Must have came into that corner hot. What? You must have came into that corner hot.
Back at it. This is like a pretty up, down, left, right, sandy, flowy track. It's pretty fun. Doesn't matter where you fall or what you do, you are always going to be landing in something soft. It's also a little intimidating because of the amount of up and downs. Being the two-way trail system can get a little sketchy at times. I've never done a night ride out here, but it would be interesting to do. Normally just don't have a bike with a bright enough light. Like this 250 has it here, but it's definitely not a bright light. It would just barely make do. And if I went to like the Cowies or something like that, They don't have a light built in, neither do Honda, so you'd have to buy something. They all do have electric start, which is nice. With all this bike shortage and everything, it definitely seems like it's going to be hard to get, and then everyone seems to be asking just an offensive price for a 2-year-old bike, which is fair, I guess. There's no other option but to pay the high price or wait for a new bike. This past winter I actually sold the KTM I'm on now, and I took the risk that I could buy a bike come spring, and I did, and I like it, but I'm tempted to do the same thing again and just run no bike all winter. Obviously I won't need one, and then risk buying something in the spring. I have ordered the new wind muffs for the GoPro, so hopefully they'll be here within a month. Obviously all cheap from China, so.
Good one.
And let's do it back, and we'll turn it right around. We'll go a little faster into the sunset. So you get these great shaded areas, bright sun areas. I don't know if anyone else rides out here or not. It's normally pretty busy with quads and races. There is a few riders around. It'd be nice to have a bit more trail system. Our racing we do is pretty entertaining, and everyone builds amazing tracks. The Cypress River one this year was crazy good. Although I do think there was a few people cheated there. You can kind of hear this bike, like, even when I give it a handful, it's not cracking a throttle or anything. It's definitely a little softer. But that's the style of the bike. It is more of like a 6 days enduro bike, which is exactly what it is. It is a 6 days enduro model, so it makes sense. It's a fast, flowy, comfortable bike, but it's not meant for short course, fast stuff that GNCC racing see. It is not made for the day races. It is made more for the long distance enduro races. More of a skill of time and endurance than actual high speed, kind of get around the lap as fast as possible. Man, this trail is good. Just cruising. Really the only thing holding back a little more speed is the fact that you have no idea if someone is coming the complete opposite way. Some deep sandy hills there. Let's go. It's just funny to watch how much sliding you do in sand. You turn the bike and it doesn't turn for a second as it has to dig in and grab traction. You really have to throw your body weight around a lot more. There we go. So yeah, like sections like this, it's like tempting to open it up as wide as possible. But chances are there's someone oncoming every time you do. Come over a ridge or around a corner and there's someone exactly there. I've ran into people, I've had friends run into people. It's definitely a risky time. This highway track back is good too. Right to the left of us is the main highway, the one road in Canada, number one highway, and you just cruise alongside it. Man, it hasn't been this wet all 2021 as it was right now. Like, this is honestly crazy to see how wet it was. This summer it was completely dry the entire time. So yeah, this trail system is really good. Lots of different terrain to it, but it is all mainly sand now. It's getting more and more chewed up, which means whatever. It's a good track to it. The other track we have at home here is a bit more dirt, so you don't want to dig it down too much. This whole region is pretty much sand from here east. There's a lot of potato farms, so thanks for riding with me, guys. Hopefully this is entertaining. Comment below if you think I should get a new bike, or just hold out on what I've got. Alright, good luck, enjoy the day.